We are live. Let's talk some baseball. I got Bill Jr. and Bill Sr. I feel like there's a Ripken joke in here somewhere, but I'm not that funny. What's going on, Bill Jr.? It looks like we've got the Cardinals on your back today.
Yeah, I'm rocking an old school Albert Pujols spring training jersey I got when I was like 14 or 15. It's just one of the ones that's been hanging up in the closet and I haven't worn it probably since
Love
I
it.
was about 16. So yeah.
Pujols, man. I mean, he's still going, but he was a beast. Hey, Mikey, my favorite Jets fan. Thanks for being here. Yeah, you weren't kidding when I first met you that first night. You said, "Yeah, you got a zillion of them. You haven't let me down yet. I like it."
Oh yeah.
And Bill Jr. and Bill Sr. What's going on, my man? How are you?
Oh, not much besides being hot. Anything that could go wrong tonight went wrong. We had the new software all set up, and I don't know if it was internet trouble or my one thing updated software right before we went on, and it kind of totally screwed my computer. So I guess we're going to have to wait another week for that.
I can vouch for the stuff that I saw. It's going to be freaking awesome at some point. We'll get there. But the people want to hear about why you're a Phillies fan and how come you're not a Dodgers fan and all those good things. I hear you've got some trivia. I hear I thought something about Korean baseball you guys want to talk about. I mean, and I know pre-show we were just talking about Tony La Russa's second coming, Gabe Kapler. Who wants to start? Who wants to go with their hot topic?
Go ahead, Bill.
Yeah, I guess we could start off a little KBO, the Korean Baseball Organization. So earlier this week, ESPN started airing live Korean baseball. They're back fully playing without any fans though. And
did they get any fans in general?
There's some people like out in the left field bleachers, behind the fence, like trying to look in with their masks on. But there's nobody in the stadium. I think one of the games put up like fake fans in the stands.
I saw that.
That was nuts. Yeah.
Yeah. Matter of fact, when I saw that, I thought that's just like, you know how there's news or those news channels that aren't real. I thought it was one of those fake ones. Hey, Keystone. Hey, Stacy. Hey, Kay. Hey, Magic Mouse TV in the chat. Hey, Mikey. So, okay. Anyway, so did you watch any of it, Bill? I mean, because I did not.
I didn't watch it live because I was at work doing working out, doing PT. But I saw the recaps of the first couple of games that they showed, and there were some epic bat flips.
Really?
Yeah, like guys will hit the ball and it might not even hit the fence, but they're tossing the bat back to the dugout before they take off running. It's insane.
I love it.
Yeah, it makes Joey Batista look like he's in Little League with the bat flip.
Joey Bats. Joey Bats follows back pretty much everybody on Twitter. He followed me for a while there, and I remember thinking that was impressive. Then I saw no, he just follows everybody.
Yeah,
but I don't like him. I'm more of an Odor to the face than Joey Bats. Where does Bill Jr. stand on the back of that?
I'm not a fan of it. I don't mind like if it was in a big game in the playoffs or a World Series, but just an everyday regular season game. If I was the pitcher and they bat flip the next time up, they get one in the ear hole.
I knew I liked you. Bill Jr., where are you at with that?
Yeah, that's another. I'm kind of with my dad there. Like every day, if you're bat flipping just to show me up, then you're probably going to take some high chin music there. But if it's like in a big game and you're pumped up and you're like tossing the bat, I'm probably going to be pumped up because I just gave up a big home run. I'm probably throwing my glove. So I can understand it then. But yeah, like a middle of May game that you're up by 10 and you do a bat flip. Yeah, there's
hit a home run to get within 3 or something. I mean,
yeah,
I guess I can't be too mad at Bautista. I mean, it was a clutch home run, but I am.
Yeah, that one. I mean, the facial expressions, that he did, he could have done without and just flip the bat and go to.
I don't mind celebration. I don't like the stare down the other team thing. Not
at all. That's why I used to love. I know not baseball, but football. I used to love Barry Sanders. Every time he went to the end zone, he got there and set the ball down. He said, "You act like you've been here before."
Exactly.
Yep.
Canwood in the house, Movie Nick in the house, Lynn Project in the house. Lynn, I only caught a little bit of your stream tonight. I got in there and you said, "Hey, we were just talking about you." And then we had a little internet issue that we're fixed, and we're all good. And we're rocking and rolling here. I'm not gonna lie. If you see me looking over there, it's because, I was telling Bill Jr. in the pre-show, we went from 100% thunderstorms from right now until midnight to 10%. So I stopped worrying about it. I'm like, all right, we'll be good. And then like 5 minutes before I walked upstairs, I finished what I was doing. I walked upstairs, and all our alarms started going off, and it's rocking and rolling. I think we're just south of it, but Mostly, I'm just saying heads up. If you're wondering what I'm looking at, it's crazy out there. But that's all right. That's all right. Are you my bull? I don't know what that means. Are you my bull? So Korean baseball. Do I want to watch it, Bill, or do I want to skip? I mean, and that for either of you.
Yeah, I mean, it's not bad. There's some ex, American players in there. Couple guys, pretty big. Dan Straley, he pitched the other day. He said it was kind of weird being in a stadium without fans, but he didn't really focus on it because he was worried about him pitching. But the next couple games, he was like, yeah, I'm probably going to notice it. It's going to be a lot different. There's like an echo off the bat when the balls hit, and it's just a different vibe. There's no, ambiance in the stadium.
It's interesting. Mick, I totally agree with you. I used to choke up a little bit. I just a tad. And so I appreciate it too that they choke up. I do, Mick. That's the good call right there. And yeah, Barry choked up. You're totally right. Good call. Amy, AJC in the house. What's going on? Did either of you choke up when you played?
Just maybe a little bit. Maybe like a little. Yeah.
I don't know why I felt better that way. What about you, Bill Jr.? Did you?
It depended on the situation. Like if I was just trying to place the ball, then I choke up a little bit. Or if I had 2 strikes on me, I'd like actually choke up a little bit on the bat to try to put the ball in play to put some pressure on the defense. But
yeah,
normal swing, I've for the most part, I like to have my pinky hang off a little bit because
really, okay,
yeah, back in the day they didn't have like 33.5-inch bats, and until I got into like college with wood and everything, and then I was able to get a 33.5-inch. But I would choke up, have my pinky off a little bit, and then if there was 2 strikes, I was just worried about contact. And
that's interesting because for me it was the issue there. I didn't want my pinky touching. I don't know why.
Yeah,
I mean it's kind of dumb, but it bugged me. But that's going back in the Wayback Machine for me. That's pretty cool. Long time ago.
With me, I always like the 34-inch bat, but wood bat, you don't have a lot of choices in the weight, whatever the lightest I could get. But when I got older and got playing in the softball, I always used a 26-ounce bat. And everybody thought I was crazy. I'm so big swinging a 26-ounce bat, but it's all about bats.
Yeah, well, I agree with you. I did a whole season when I was doing slow pitch. It was like, I don't even know. You guys remember I don't remember. It was tiny. But I mostly did it just to prove a point, and because I'm a jerk that way. But that was just one season. But I don't know. That's I'm gonna have to think back now. My brain doesn't want to go back in that Wayback Machine. But anyway, seriously, last night I saw a dude choke to the paint. So you guys are making me Mick, and you guys talking about choking up. I'm thinking about Gene Richards. You guys remember Gene Richards? He was the choke up guy of my childhood. Played for the Padres.
Yeah. No, I don't remember him.
Yeah.
I can't remember who. There was a guy when I was younger. I know if you had tape on the bat, his hands were like to the top of where the tape was, and I can't remember who that was from when I was a kid.
Well, there's a Philly great, one of potentially
Boa.
My favorite. Larry Boa. Yeah.
Noah choked up. He probably choked up maybe a good 2 or 3 inches, but
yeah,
I can't remember who probably even higher than Boa. I mean, he turned a 34 into like a 29-inch bat.
Yeah,
and, I can't remember who it was, but Boa was definitely big into choking up in the bat control.
You either love Larry Boa or you hate Larry Boa. I'm guessing you both love Larry Boa. I love Larry
Boa. Yeah, he was definitely fiery, but he's definitely. You couldn't argue with his effort.
Yeah, exactly. Very, very Pete Rose type to me. He was a Padre manager for a while. Living down in San Diego, I was a fan. I like the energy that he brought. Yeah, Stacey Rogers for the win. I mean, I don't like to admit to really 2 people, Stacey and Bill Sr., that I like anyone from Philadelphia, but I do love me some Larry Boa.
Speaking of Philadelphia, I know you haven't watched any of it, and I don't know who the pitcher was. Was that Straley, Bill, yesterday that was pitching? And another ex-Philly was up on the other team, Altair, and an ex-Philly pitched to an ex-Philly and gave up the home run yesterday in the Korean game.
Yeah, that's what happened.
And Straley's playing in the KBO or whatever they call it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Really? Huh. Interesting.
Yep.
I don't know. I'll tell you, if somebody would have wrote me a check to play in Antarctica, I would have went. So it is what it is.
Yeah. Yeah, you play ball wherever you can.
Right? Totally agree. Passholder Pair in the house says Wade Boggs would change hand play. Yeah, Wade Boggs was a freaking magician. He was like a painter. I loved Wade Boggs. I grew up in San Diego, like I said, and Tony Gwynn came up. Well, same year, same rookie card, 83. What a great season for rookie cards that was. Talking about baseball cards, obviously. But Wade Boggs and Tony Gwynn, like Wade Boggs got all the press, I think, because he was from Boston in the beginning of the career. And then Gwynn just surpassed him. I mean, they're both obviously all-time greats. And it's pretty cool that Wade Boggs' 3,000th hit was a home run, which is very, very rare, and he wasn't even a home run hitter. But anyway, long story short, those two both could put the ball where they wanted, choke it up or not. Good call, pass holder pair. Lynn says, make sure to. Oh, thank you very much. Okay, so I feel like I interrupted you, Bill. So did you want to say something else about Korean?
Yeah, you were just saying something. It was a home run. Was Derek Jeter's 3,000 hit a home run also?
It might have been. Yeah, I know he ended his career with the RBI. I feel like you're right. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, Google that.
I used to love Wade Boggs as a hitter, and like Tony Gwynn, but Tony Gwynn always reminded me of Rod Carew. He was one of them back. He could put the ball, if you were off the line down at third base, he could put the ball 2 inches inside the third base bag, or he just put it wherever it was pitched. He had such great back control.
Oh, I just discovered when I type in there, it's Bush League Baseball. That's right. That's okay. Doesn't matter, I guess. But I thought that'd be for me. Stacy, that's me. Yeah, he was great. He was a wizard. He was one of that freak guy that wanted to have chicken every day, which made me feel like he was my dad because my dad cooked chicken. He actually had a book, 365 Ways to Make Chicken. I threw away probably 5 times. It was like the Blair Witch freaking book. It kept coming back and back, and Dad kept making chicken and chicken. Whatever. I guess we were poor or something. Who's on first? What's on second? All right. So again, though, Bill Jr., I feel like you were going to tell me more about Korean baseball. Is it worth my time?
I mean, yeah, if you're really fiending for baseball, yeah, it's worth the watch. But the way that they play, you can definitely tell when an American player is out there as opposed to like a Korean-born player because of how they play the game. Especially really? In regards to their approach at the plate. Like the American player is a little bit more laid back, and then the Korean player looks like he's trying to work for it a little harder, and he's trying to do more. So I don't know. I don't know if you understand what I'm talking about here.
I haven't watched it, but I feel like I do. Yeah, I don't know. I think us Americans aren't nearly as intense in general as Asian athletes that I've watched. But I don't want to. I don't know. Maybe that's racism of me to say. I'm not really sure, but they seem like even in the stands, it sounds like there's just cardboard cutouts in the stands right now. But the Asian baseball fans come with a plan. They got cheers and screaming at things, and they're wearing weird stuff, and they got like cheerleaders, but not really cheerleaders. I don't know. It's a little weird.
Even as a Japanese league and the Korean league, I think it's a culture thing too. I mean, because they're all methodical about everything that they do.
I mean, they had like a plan.
Right. Yeah.
I'm a big World Baseball Classic fan. I'm nuts for the World Baseball Classic, and I'll get up early for those games. I don't know, KBO. I mean, we're having baseball. By the way, I feel like I keep interrupting you, so just jump back into your things if I am cutting you off. But did you guys see Mark Cuban's talking about what he's calling the what did he call it? He called it the oh shoot, I can't remember what he called it now. Mark Cuban's got a plan for sports.
Yeah.
What the heck? I'm gonna have to look it up. It's gonna bug me out. He called it. I thought was funny.
I haven't seen that, but I did see a report tonight. What's his name? Jeff. I'm not sure how you pronounce his last name. Passan. He's on the MLB channel a lot, and supposedly the MLB is finishing formalizing their plan this week. They're going to present it to the players. One of the biggest questions, though, that he came in his article was some players have a question. If themselves not to play this season, are they going to be penalized? Because like some players have family members, and there was a couple of them in particular that their wives have medical condition. And one of them was the pitcher. He's a local kid here. Bill, you know his name. The local kid's a pitcher for the Nationals.
For the National, I don't want you to know Stashik, who's a pitcher for the Twins.
No, but anyway, his wife asthma, and she's been in the hospital a couple times where her asthma turns into pneumonia, and he's worried, if he brings anything home, if she gets it. I mean, she's got severe asthma. The article didn't say if he was going to be one of the ones.
Pavetta.
No, not Pavetta.
No, he's from Philly.
No, this kid's from New Jersey, and it's his name slipping me right now. So there's quite a few players that have family members or spouses that have health issues. So they're kind of worried, what happens if they bring something home. So that's something that the MLB is going to have to address with the.
I know how they're going to address it. Is it Doolittle? He's from Jersey.
Doolittle, that's it. Yeah, Sean Doolittle. He lives he grew up probably 20 minutes from where we live in New Jersey.
I've always liked that guy. He's set.
Yeah.
So let me ask you both. What would you do? What do you think will happen? Do you have an opinion? I can tell you with 100% confidence I know what will happen with
on the local news tonight. They were talking about that there looks like it's going to be July 1st. Reese Hoskins is the player rep for the Phillies, and he was on the local news. And he said they haven't got the plan from the major leagues yet, but everything that he's hearing is sometime in the second or third week of June that they're going to start spring training again, and they're hoping by the beginning of July, and it's definitely going to be with no fans for the foreseeable at all this year.
I mean, some states will mandate it such, so yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, for the foreseeable future, it's going to be no fans no matter what stadium, and then I guess it'll be on a case-by-case basis in the area, whatever it is. But you heard Philadelphia, New York, and places like that. If they have fans in the stands, it's not going to be till fall.
Well, I mean, we all have different opinions on when things are going to open. Here's what they'll do with any player, and there's a few that, in my never some opinion, that they come out with and say, I'm not sure if we want to play this year. Don't.
Yeah.
Stay home.
Exactly.
You know, I got in a business. We have 11 employees. One of my employees doesn't want to go to work, and it has nothing to do with what's going on. He just doesn't want to go to work. Be my guest. Stay home. I'll hire somebody else. Yep. I mean, and we're talking about a couple, not that much per hour. We're not talking about, feel free, millionaire, to stay home. We got another kid who will take your spot.
Along with what you brought up in the weeks past here on the show, the one thing that they are actually now is I know earlier in the year, they were going to up the regular roster to 26 players.
Yes.
Or to 25. Well, now they're talking about a third, and instead of a 40 man like roster between the majors and minor leagues, they're talking 50. And I'm sure that has to do with pitching, especially when they get into playing a lot of doubleheaders. Well,
pitching and the union. I mean, if there's no minor league baseball this year, and apparently there's going to be no minor league baseball this year, that's a lot of jobs that go poof. I mean, think about, hey, Tim, no problem, man. No problem. I'm glad you're here. I think it's likely they're going to expand the rosters, and I think that'll be a concession that the union. I'm diving into the weeds on guessing what's going to happen, but it's going to happen. They're going to. You just lost how many minor league teams are there? Multiply that times 30 player jobs. Some of them are major jobs, triple A.
At least 5 or 6. Between rookie ball and A ball, and
it's crazy. Bill Jr., if Sean Doolittle decided to not play for the Nationals and the Nationals called you and said, hey, we got an extra roster spot, would you take it?
Yeah, I'd come pitch. I'd throw about 68 miles an hour for him. I'd be fine with it.
My point is, you think it'd be hard to find a 26th or 28th or 30th guy for that roster?
No, I mean, it's the same thing as like we do in the Army. It's next man up. Like one guy goes down, you got another guy coming right up to fill a spot. So, I mean, if they don't want to play because of family issues, and that it happens everywhere, people have family issues where somebody's going to be more susceptible to the disease than somebody else. That's fine. We're not going to penalize you. There's not going to be any negative action against you. It's for your family's safety. We just got the next guy coming up to step on the mountain.
You can play ball next year or when you're ready. Yeah. I mean, yeah. You guys see what happened to Trey Mancini?
Yeah, I did. That's terrible.
Yeah,
it's terrible.
So I'm sure he's going to be one, because even if he gets healthy from his issues, you won't see him playing this year.
Nope. Which means the Orioles
are
actually down to 0 major league players now with him being out.
Yeah. Yeah, I wasn't sure. They said he's going to be okay, but I wasn't sure of the timeline when he could come back. But I'd be really surprised if he came back this year.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I read that he said it wouldn't be this year. I wouldn't swear to that, but I haven't been watching it's funny. Now that we got a show, I should be watching more sports news or baseball news specifically, but I really haven't the past couple of weeks. I just want it to come back, and then I'll dive in. Like, I don't really need to hear about Harold Reynolds' opinion on, who the best shortstop is in the Phillies farm system if we don't even have a season. It kind of pisses me off, but we're going to have it. So, I'm going to ask this, and I haven't prepped you guys for it, but if you don't know I'm going to ask this, you just don't know me. Are we having a baseball season? And then after you tell me yes, when?
I think yes. And there's no doubt. I was always yes all along, and I was always guessing later. But everything that they're saying now, it's going to be sometime late June or by the 4th of July in that area.
Bill Jr.?
I think yes, but I think it'd be more towards the end of July, closing in on August, because they just keep pushing back the stay-at-home order further and further. Yeah, I get it. I mean, people are getting fed up with it. The players are like, okay, like, let's go, and all these fans are pressuring the leagues, and come on, we want to get some sports. We've been stuck in the house for 2 months now. We need something new. Yeah, yeah, exactly. The cash rules everything. What was that one guy on ESPN? I think he was on Scott Van Pelt one morning, and he was quoting a Wu-Tang Clan. He said, "Cash rules everything," or whatever. It's basically the summary of it. And yeah, I mean, you know, the cash does rule the world, so it's coming back.
Wu-Tang Clan.
Yeah,
so, quoted on Bush League Baseball.
It was like this dorky little white guy with his comb over, and he was sitting there like he was pointing at, like, kind of like I have the MLB thing. He was pointing at a Wu-Tang Clan album next to a Rage Against the Machine album he had on his wall.
I love it. I love it. Well, we all gotta act hard sometime, right? I don't know. I think sooner rather than later. The question for me will be how long the union makes them have a spring training, because every moment they're in spring training is the one moment they're not getting anybody in the stands. So I think that what's going to happen likely is they're going to have some kind of crazy idea that allows for them not have to care what Governor Cuomo and Governor Newsom are doing in the very, very, I mean, it's I'm not trying to get political, but it's a blue state, red state thing right now. And the blue states want to stay home until who knows when. And the red states are like, why aren't we open already? And I have a strong opinion, and you guys can probably figure it out because, you know, I blab what I think all the time, but truth is truth. Money talks. And sure, there'll be 4 or 5 players that are maybe 20 or 30 players that, hey, I don't want to play. I get it. So don't play, but we're going to be playing. I think it's highly likely that we'll be playing before the 4th of July. And I think it'll be a very, very short spring training. And I think we will have, I guess, neutral fields is the way to say it. I think that 3-tiered, the East, the Central, the West thing makes the most sense. You find 3 states that will allow you to all be close. They've got some decent stadiums. That's my guess. That's just my guess.
Yeah,
last time. But what do you guys think about that plan?
The last rumor that I heard, and we talked a little bit about it last. I saw that Pass Older Pair brought up. It's sort of like the old plan that they were talking the spring training. Then they kind of added Texas in, using the new ballpark in Arlington and Houston because they're domes. But now it sounds like they're going for their home stadiums, but they're going to go with an East, a West, and a Central. They're definitely that. I
think that makes a lot of sense.
And they're going to kind of keep everybody closer to home. Like the West Coast teams are on the coast. They're not going to, there's no traveling across country. I mean, there's a few teams that are kind of out of the geographical, like the Braves, I think would be in the Central instead of the East. They're going to have 5 American and 5 National League teams in each of those divisions. And then I guess it'll be each of the division winners. They haven't even got as far as that yet, how any playoffs would work. If it would be the 3 division winners and card or how they would do it. I guess it goes along with how long the season of the year.
Exactly.
They might only go with a 14 playoff. Who knows? I think they just want to get playoff wise. They'll worry about that as they get into playing, but they're just worrying about getting on the field right now.
And the playoffs, and they can, because it's going to be crazy, that can make up for the lost revenue. Yeah. So because of that, I'll be shocked if they don't expand the playoffs and use it. Thank you, Tim. I love my bracket idea, but they're not going to do it. But it would work, and the revenues would be freaking through the roof, but they won't do it. But if you expand it even by 1 round of playoffs, it's probably going to be equivalent to like 1/3 of the revenues. I don't know. I'm not doing math. I'm guesstimating, but the money is backloaded, right? So you add 2 rounds, it could come out ahead, in my never so humble opinion.
And I think that they're probably going to have to, if they go later into the season, like this year, they kind of bumped the season up a little bit, so they weren't ending in November with cold weather. But I wouldn't be surprised if they did do neutral site for the playoffs or the World Series.
It makes a lot of sense. You find 4 domes or 8 domes or whatever, and you have an NCAA style tournament at the end even. I don't know. I just think go wild with it, try out some things, because everybody's not. Even those of us who were very old school can't really say, oh, well, I mean, you got to have 162 games and you got to do, I mean, it's not going to happen. You can't do it. So I think this is the perfect opportunity to go a little wild. And I do think the bracket method would work. I think the double limit, you could do College World Series style, man. Everyone would. That is the best. The College World Series is the best thing ever. I love it. And we could flip it quite easily, but I don't know. Whatever.
Yeah.
Just aluminum bat.
Well, it all depends. I guess we'll know more, it sounds like, by the weekend or the beginning of next week.
I bet you're right. I don't know anything. You say it sounds like. Have you read something on that? Because
the article that I read from that Jeff Passan from MLB, I read that. And with Reese Hoskins on the local news tonight, he said they're waiting any day to get the proposal from the MLB, from the commissioner, to their, to their offices for the union, and he's expecting it by the end of the week or over the weekend at the latest.
Oh man! So we are getting hail in the window right there. I doubt you guys can hear that, but that is freaking loud. Dang,
a little bit.
If I fly away,
Trevor Plouffe, who used to play with the Twins and the Orioles, he's on a podcast now, and I think it's that Jumbo Media. He's on a podcast with them, and he must know somebody in the league offices, because he's been pumping out a lot of this same information now that's coming out, that they're looking, it's going to be July 1st. And
really? Okay. So Plouffe is on the John Boy, whatever.
Yeah, he's on there. He's got a baseball, and I know he at least does. It sounds like he does a podcast with them. I don't know if he's on their YouTube channels when they do stuff.
Very cool.
That came out about a day or two ago that he had heard rumors from the league offices. So we'll see.
What are you thinking up there, Bill Jr.? What do you think they're gonna go wild with it? You think they're gonna be boring with it?
I hope they go wild with it and do like a best 4 teams from each division go to Omaha and do a winners bracket, losers bracket type deal. Because I mean, you could easily do that. The season's already completely different.
It would be such good TV.
It would be awesome. You do it just like Omaha and Rosenblatt, and top 12 teams, 4 from each division go. And
or you could get wild and you can make it a 3-game series instead of 1 game. Each round could be a 3-game series, which triples the amount of revenue.
Well, that's what it's all about, the number of games. I don't know how many games there's total in the whole tournament if it goes the full distance. And
if you do a double elimination tournament with 8 teams and you make it a 3-game series instead of an individual game, that's bankable cash. That would be, and
then just have a 7-game World Series. They could do that. Make them all 3 games and then have a 7-game World Series.
I would love it. I would love it. And then you could have 2 or even 3 going on at the same time. It would be just like the NCAA tournament, which we all missed out on this year. Listen, Mr. Commissioner, give me a call.
I'm up for that one plan that came out earlier.
Tell me.
If the one that they were saying that they had to play later in that's the one when they were talking about Florida and going later, trying to get as many regular season games in. And they were talking if the World Series went to a game 5, it would be played on Christmas Day. Freaking awesome.
I would love that. I mean, LeBron gets to play on Christmas Day, and the ratings are through the roof every day. You know what there's to do on Christmas Day after about 10 o'clock? Take a nap.
No.
Give me a game. Oh, man.
Smell the food in the kitchen. That's all there is to do from one.
So, Noah might be floating by any minute. Dang, I don't know. It's wild right there. That's crazy. Anyway, okay, sorry guys. I actually had a live stream once before where we had a crazy storm. I guess it was about a year ago or so. But I think this one's stronger. That's crazy. That's what I get for even mentioning it, Bill. I should have said nothing.
Yeah, you should have kept quiet on that.
All right, what else you guys got? I don't have my list, honestly. What else you guys got you wanna yak about baseball on?
Well, like I said, I got the trivia and what we talked about.
I heard a rumor that there's a trivia contest tonight.
Yeah. I had it all set up I ran a couple test streams yesterday on the new software, and then whatever happened tonight with updating, it just did one of my other things did an automatic update thing out from the night. So luckily I still got it on paper because I had all the questions ready to bring up on the stream.
Movie Mania Nick, I don't think I'll blow away, but I don't know. Whatever. If I get zapped, you'll know. So are we able to do it? Is it me versus Bill Jr.? Is
Junior.
it chat
Yeah,
involved?
you versus Junior. And I think we're going to have to do that because once we get into the other, bringing it up to bring a like a slide, to bring the question up on screen so everybody can read it. We're going to have to do that. We'll just do a running tally each week between you and Bill and just keep.
All right. So is it like question for him, then a question for me, or are we like? What?
No, I got 5 questions, and what we'll do is you'll both get a chance to answer it, and you each get a point. And only one answer
is it like his question first and then my question, or are we trying
no,
to?
you both one question. You both get to answer it. If you both get it right, you each get a point, and then we'll tally.
Okay, so we're not trying to say it first. We're just putting out our answer.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, if you put the right answer, that's fine. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, no.
Yeah, there's no.
Like Family Feud.
Pay attention.
Yeah, start out before I answer the question. Say, "Hey Google," and then turn your speaker up.
All right. So I guess we got to decide who answers first, though, right? Because I could just say, "Oh yeah, I agree with him every time."
Well, if you guys, I guess the only fair way really to do it is if you know the answer. You guys have a piece of paper there?
Oh,
you
sure.
could write it down.
You want to do that?
You could just write it down and then hold it up.
I can do that. Hold on.
Oh,
that makes it a little more fair.
My pad here has one piece of paper. Let me find. Oh no, here's. I'll find one. Hold on.
I know Bill's from Jersey, and like if you come up with the answer first, he'll say, "Oh yeah, that's what I'll say."
Oh yeah, we could type it in the chat. You want to just type it in the chat?
Yeah, but if you type it first, he's still going to see it. So yeah, put it on. Write it on a piece of paper.
I got chips. I got oofoofies. I got all kinds of stuff I got to get out of the way here. Hold on.
Snafu the night before we went live here. I need a drink. You got one of those?
I've got some Diet Pepsi, but it's mostly the very end. All right. It's going to be a little messy, but you good, Bill Jr.? You got something to write on there?
Yep, we're good to go. I got my pink sticky notes.
Oh, I need sticky
notes. All
right.
And all you got to do is the answers are going to be either one, instead of A, B, C, or D, it's going to be 1, 2, 3, or 4. So you just put a number 1, a number 2, a number 3, or a number 4, depending on which one you think the answer.
I can't just put like Dodgers every time. All right, whatever. I'll
that'll be a strict loser.
I'm not really good at following rules. I'm just going to put that out there right now.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, who didn't know? All right, we'll go with the first one here and see how it goes.
All right, here we go.
All right, you ready?
I'll let you know after the question.
Okay. Who led the major leagues in hits last decade in the 2010s? For the whole decade from 2010 through 2019, who led the major leagues in total hits? Was it number 1, Miguel Cabrera? 2, Robinson Cano? Number 3, Mike Trout? Or number 4, Nick Markakis? So you answer either 1, 2, 3, or 4. Number 1 was Miguel Cabrera. Number 2 is Robinson Cano. Number 3 is Mike Trout. 4 is Nick Markakis.
You tell me when.
And chat, if anybody's got an idea, go ahead, throw it up in the chat window. You ready, Bill? Looks like you're ready. All right, flip your cards around.
I put 2.
Bill's got the right answer. Robinson Cano had 1,695 hits. And
he wasn't even my second choice, so I'm in trouble.
He had more. He had 961 in the first half of the decade.
It is pouring out there.
I can hear it now.
Yeah. Crazy. All right.
All right. I'll do a running tally up top here.
I thought about it for a second. I'm like, Trout didn't start playing until a little bit, towards the middle of the decade. Mickey strikes out a lot, even though he had that Triple Crown bid. And then Markakis, he's just like, he fell.
He got hot at the end of the decade.
Yeah. All right.
I'm going to come back.
Bill got 1. Jeff's got a goose egg. All right. Question number 2. Who led the major leagues in home runs in the last decade? Jose Bautista, number 1. Number 2, Mike Trout. Number 3, Edwin Encarnacion. Or number 4, Nelson Cruz. So it would be number 1 is Jose. 2 is Mike Trout. Number 3 is Edwin Encarnacion. And number 4 is Nelson Cruz.
Might be me because we're getting this weather, but you sound like a cool robot right now. But it might be me because they're trying to blow me away. All right, ready, set? Tell me
Ready,
when.
Bill?
Yeah.
All right, flip around here.
Both
You're
went
both
with
right.
Nelly.
You're both right. Nelson Cruz had 346 of his 400 home runs.
That was a good one. I had to think about that for a second. I think about it
I
logically.
really didn't think you guys would, of all the questions, I figured that was the one you guys either would be least to get. All right.
That guy's been
Number
amazing.
3.
All right, number 3.
Yeah, number 3. These are all. Well, you'll see. They're like double answers, so you got to listen to the possible. Number 3, of 9 with over 600 career home runs, who are 2? There's 2 players of the 9 that have never had a 50 home run season. So there's 9 players, career home runs. 2 of them never had a 50 home run season.
So your audio, you might want to reset your audio. It's definitely getting weird.
You
Okay.
hear me all right now, or is it on his internet, on his end?
It's all the same. It sounds robotic.
Okay. I don't know how to reset it for a minute here. Let me mute.
So 2 of the top 9 home run hitters who never hit a 50 home run season. Is that what we're saying?
Correct. All right. Answer possible number 1
Okay.
is Hank Aaron and Willie Mays. Number 2, Ken Griffey Jr., Willie Mays. Number 3, Jim Thome or Albert Pujols. Or number 4, Hank Aaron and Albert Pujols. All right, I'll read the possible answers again.
I'm good.
Number 1 is Hank Aaron and Willie Mays. Never had a 50 home run season. Ken Griffey Jr. and Willie Mays, neither one of those ever had a 50 home run season. Jim Thome and Albert Pujols. And number 4 is Hank Aaron and Albert Pujols.
Yeah, Tim's asking me where I'm at. I'm in Fort Worth. I'm in the very northern part of Fort Worth. And yeah, I don't know what your radar says, but we're getting pounded. It sounds like it's calmed down, but pounded the last like 4 or 5 minutes. And everybody says, Kay's heading out. Kay, thank you for being here. Have a great night. All right, I'm ready. You ready?
Yep.
4? Okay, Jeff is right. Bill is wrong. It's Hank Aaron and Albert Pujols. Aaron, his highest 47 in 1971, and Pujols hit 49 in 2006.
I would
I thought
unplug
he had
your
it
audio and plug it back in.
I don't have a microphone. Yeah, it's computer. I can try and back out and come back in if you want me to do that.
You want to try?
Yeah.
Yeah, Tim, it's definitely calmed down in the last like minute and a half or 2, but there for question number 1 and number 2, I was really listening to the roof more than.
Yeah.
It's calmed down now though. Could you guys see the lights in my face? Could you guys see that? Because it was wild. All right.
How's that? Is that better?
Yeah, baby. No more Mr. Roboto. All right. Question number 3 or 4.
Yep. All right. We got 2 apiece here. You guys are 2. All right. Number 4. Who was the only pitcher in baseball history to win a Cy Young, to pitch a perfect game, and to reach 500 career strikeouts, all with the team? There's only one pitcher in history that's pitched a Cy Young, a perfect game, and record 2,500 strike game team. Okay. Number 1
All right. I think
is
I got
Matt Cain. Matt Cain with the Giants is possible number 1 answer. Number 2 answer, Felix Hernandez with the Mariners. Number 3, Jim Palmer with the Orioles, or number 3 Koufax with the Dodgers?
Oh,
So you didn't name the guy that I thought it was, so I'm in trouble.
yeah, me neither.
Okay, so 1 was Kane, 2 was who?
2 was Fernandez.
Hernandez.
3 was
Seattle.
yeah.
Jim Palmer with the Orioles is number 3, and your boy Sandy Koufax is number 4.
Mm.
I'm not sure.
You need me to read them again?
No, I need you to get in my head and tell me the right answer.
Yeah, I'm doing an estimated guess here.
I'll just give them real quick. Matt Cain, Felix Hernandez, Jim Palmer, or Sandy Koufax.
All right, I'm ready. Are you ready, Bill Jr.?
Yep. Yep, same answer.
Felix, both right. He had the Cy Young in 2010. He had his perfect game in 2012, and he reached 2,500 Ks last season.
This is fun. I like it. Are we tied with 1 question to go?
Yep, 3-3.
3-3.
Can you do me a favor? One that you won't know the answer to. I'm gonna need.
Yeah, but these are going to carry on. All your correct answers are going to carry on each week.
Whoa. Okay.
All right, this is another one that each answer is 2.
Okay.
All right. Which franchises have appeared in only 2 World Series and lost both of them? So
Okay.
there's 2 franchises in history that have only been in 2 World Series and lost both of them.
Okay.
Answer 1 is the Tampa Rays and the Brewers. Answer 2 is the Padres and the Brewers. Answer 3 is the Rangers and the Padres. Or number 4 is the Brewers and the Rangers. So it's either the Rays and Brewers have lost 2 World Series and both they've been in, or the Padres and Brewers, the Rangers and Padres, or the Brewers and Rangers.
I like it. That's a good question right there. And I'm 99.9% sure I got it right. And yes, I'm trying to make you nervous.
Yeah, I'm just gonna go with it.
Where's that?
All right, flip them.
Yeah. I had 4.
Jeff, you're wrong. And Bill, you're wrong. The Rangers and the Padres.
Rangers.
Rangers were back season in a decade. Remember, they lost 2 years in a row.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
Padres lost in '84. Padres lost in '84 to the Tigers and '98 to the Yankees, and then the Rangers lost 2010 and 2011 to the.
You're right. I was here for it. I should have known that when I was in towns.
I thought you were going to get that one, Jeff, because you grew up in San Diego and you live in the area.
I forgot the Rangers lost 2 in a row. I'm like, well, I guess okay, that makes sense. The Brewers, nope. Dang it.
I think the Brewers have only been in the 1 World Series in the '80s. That back when Robin Yount and them were playing. That's the only one that
they lost to the Cardinals in '82. I guess you're right. Yeah, they haven't been in since. Yeah. That was a good team right there. Right. Molitor and Gorman Thomas, and that was a fun team. I like.
Oh yeah, they were a good team back then.
Mm-hmm.
And
Pete Vogelbach, who not only was a good pitcher, but he was a cleanup hitter in Major League, which is freaking awesome. So, big old mustache guy.
Yeah. All right. So you guys finished tied at 3-3. So next week we'll have 5 more questions, and you'll start off tied again, 3-3.
I hate losing, but I also hate tying. So
I hate tying worse than I hate losing.
I think I do too. So in my senior year of football, we played in Jack Murphy Stadium for the county championship, and we tied, which is stupid.
How do you tie? Like, I don't get it.
They're stupid because the people in charge are stupid. But we got a ring. But
is that the game that you got creamed by Junior Seau or no?
No. That was my junior year. He was a year older than me. My junior year, he tried to murder me in front of all the people. Jerk. But no, my senior year, shoot, it's a funny story. So we came in 4th. There's like 6 teams in our freaking league or something. We came in 4th. But we were the last. I don't know how many teams made the playoffs, like 12 or whatever. And we snuck in. We were the last team, and then we rolled. And the semifinal game we played against La Jolla. They were freaking great. And this is a great story. This is coaching. Our coaches won this for us. It poured the rain. Well, heck, it poured the rain here. It poured the rain so hard. So the opening kickoff for the second half, I was one of the deep guys on kickoff. And I swear to you, this is 100% true. I said a prayer. I go out onto the field and I said a prayer. Please, Lord, don't let him kick it to me, because Scott, two guys deep. Scott, my friend, was to my right, 15 yards, 20 yards away, whatever. I don't know. I couldn't see him. It was raining that hard. And so I'm back there and I'm like all in position. Like I'm going to, like, I don't want it to hit me in the face. Right. And we're going to lose the game. So I'm just like totally prepared, waiting to try to see the ball at the last second. And all of a sudden I look up and the offense is running a play over there. Like that's how long I was in position. And I ran off the field and nobody ever saw me. And so I was stressing out the whole time, even after the celebration and all that you would see it on we watched the films on film the next day, and you couldn't see a freaking thing. The rain came down so hard for about 2 or 3 plays, you couldn't see anything. And we won the game for one reason and one reason only. When you went into, so we tied that game too. We went into overtime for the playoffs, but not for this final. How stupid is that, right? But we tied La Jolla. We score a touchdown. I'm sorry. How did it go? Yes, that's right. I'm going to screw it up. Basically, they scored a touchdown. They couldn't kick the extra point. We scored a touchdown, and we could because we brought the plastic all-weather balls, and they didn't. And their ball puffed up like a freaking Stay Puft marshmallow, and you couldn't kick it. It was like, and we won the game because of that. Seriously, we did. Our DB made a great play and tipped a thing away. It's a great story, but I couldn't even see 15 yards.
Like the old Fox. The old Fog Bowl in the early 90s with the,
it was one of those concrete seats they were sitting, and everybody in the stands got up, and there was a video of it. It was just a flow of water. I remember it set a record for the most rain in an hour in San Diego at the time. I don't know. I don't remember the details, but yeah, we won because of the rain. They were better than us, but whatever. We'll take it. And then we tied in the freaking next game too. So stupid. It was pretty crazy too. It wasn't me. I wasn't involved, but my buddy Steve so we're tied. The end of the final game, county championship, and my buddy Steve's a wide receiver, and we throw a 9, a bomb, and it's a pick. The DB intercepts it, and the play's basically over. The guy's about to get fall, and Steve steals it away from him and falls over, and basically it was an interception, but then he ripped it out of his hands, and then our kicker came in for the last play to kick a field goal, and he shanked it, and we ended up tied. But anyway, yeah, it was pretty crazy. If they didn't bring that ball, we would have, La Jolla probably would have beat us. Tim says his wife was born in La Jolla. That's cool. La Jolla's a beautiful area. They had a better football team than us that year. But yeah, the very last team to make the playoffs, and we ended up tied. Whatever. And in the finals, we were playing the team that was the champion in our league that year. It was kind of crazy. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Long time ago.
Yeah. Well, Bill, you had some other stuff you wanted to talk about. You wanted trick stuff you wanted to bring up?
Yeah, I kind of wanted to bring this up for a couple weeks now. I was not feeling well last week. I had a couple of immunizations at work, so I was out of the weather last Thursday. But I wanted to bring this up for a while now to get the chat kind of involved in it too. I know myself and my dad have had a lot of discussions about this with our friends. We haven't talked really about this, Jeff, but analytics in baseball. I don't really mean like Moneyball. I'm talking more like over managing and using these stats to pull a Gabe Kepler and just bring a pitcher in the middle of the third inning to face one batter and then take him out, just completely taking a guy out of the game and just over managing. I mean, what are you guys' thoughts about analytics in the game?
Go ahead, Bill.
Yeah. I mean, some things they got their place for for stats nerds that like to keep an eye on stats. Some of them are just absurd. Managing based on that, I can see a little bit managing, but that's where Gabe Kapler. I mean, he just threw. It just seemed like threw the old rules of baseball out the window, and it was just all on the computer. If you're going to manage like that, just let the computer do it. I mean, you don't need the manager. What's the somebody's got to do is hit a button up. Here's the situation. Here's what you need to do. I think it's ridiculous. I mean, the old day. I mean, You had two good pitchers pitching. What did you do? You tried to bunt to get a base hit. Well, anymore, you very rarely see a bunt anymore. I mean, you always for the one run, or it seems like they got away from that, and they let it like overrule the game.
Well, one of the rules this year for 2020, if we ever get a season, I really do like is the 3 batter minimum. I think that will prevent those left-handed specialists for coming in and pitching for 1 batter. I think I was saying before we went live to Bill Jr., the problem from a marketing standpoint that drives me crazy is we bitch and moan about the length of the game, but then we allow those kinds of things. And not only does it extend the game, which I don't think is a problem, but apparently some do, but we make the best part of the game the most boring part of the game. Like, I don't watch an NBA game ever, but I might catch the last 2 minutes because that's freaking spectacular. When baseball is best, we make it more boring, and that's stupid. And it seems easy to me to make a few rule changes, and I like this pitch, minimum of 3. So all the managers have to do is not stack left-handers in the lineup in a row, and all of a sudden Andrew Miller is valuable, but he's not devastating. Like, you don't have to worry about having 0 chance. I mean, Randy Johnson versus John Kruk was funny because Randy Johnson versus John Kruk it wasn't even fair. And Andrew Miller and those kind of type of guys, they come in, they walk in from the bullpen, they throw their 8 pitches, you leave for commercial, you throw 1 pitch, even if they're brilliant, they roll a double play on the first pitch. What a waste of time that is. So I think I don't want to change rules to not allow people to manage. Like, I'm against like the telling people they can't shift. I'm against all those things. I mean, I wasn't the best hitter in the world, but if you put 3 dudes on one side of the field, I'm going to get a hit. If I can't hit 400 against that defense, I suck at baseball. And, I'm not Joey Gallo, so I'm not going to try to lift it out. But even Joey Gallo, if you got 50 home run power and everybody's on that side of the field, lay down a bunt, dude. Just choke up 1 time, just slap it over there. I mean, you don't play.
They don't teach it anymore how to bunt.
These
players come up.
My dad didn't teach me plenty of things that I can do anyway. I mean, you got to figure it out. At some point, if everybody's on, it's like in football. If everybody takes a knee, you should probably run there. I mean, it doesn't make any sense to me. So the pitching thing, the rule I actually like, because I don't like the bitching and moaning about how long the game is, but it addresses that, and it addresses the overmanaging, Bill. I mean, I think the analytics as it relates to overmanaging and relief pitchers especially is killing the excitement of the game. Getting
into and I think Tampa was one of the teams that was doing it a lot last year. Like, they were just bringing in a reliever to start the game for a batter or 2 and starter in, which I never got the logic in that. I mean, you're going to do it, just leave them in there for an inning or 2 and then bring your starter in. The only stat that I really like, and it kind of measures and it kind of tells you, like, one player couldn't with home runs or with average, but the stat WAR, that's your overall. That takes all your stats in consideration, and that's probably the only stat I like to measure the greatness of a.
I like that stat a lot. WAR, right? The great Bill James, about 82 actually. We're talking about the year 82. It was the first year I ever bought Baseball Abstract. I can tell you that. The great Bill James came up with runs created, and I think from there it just expanded and got more and more exact, better. I don't know what the right way to say it is. And WAR is my favorite stat. I think WAR is the closest we get to an equalizer. And I don't think it's good to compare the pitchers with the hitters necessarily still, but you can certainly compare, where players are in different eras better now with WAR than you ever could before, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Which proves the greatness of freaking Mike Trout. I mean, he's already way up on that list.
Yeah, I look at it when I go on to the one website that I keep track of that. Last year, I don't know if they have 50 per page. Trout was on the second page last year, and I haven't looked at it yet at the end of the year, but he's either close to the first page now, top 50 all time, or if not, we lost almost a quarter of the season already. He would have been by now. I mean,
Well,
he percentage points from being in the top 50 all time. He definitely would have broke it this year with a full season.
he'll get there.
And
Stay
that's
healthy.
just eight and a half years into his career. That just baffles my mind. Where he's ahead of Mike Schmidt, he's ahead of Eddie Murray. I mean, it's just crazy.
Guys who are obvious Hall of Famers, he's already ahead of. That's nuts.
Yeah.
Nick, I agree with you. Girardi was a little bit like that too. I think he's going to be a lot like that now that he's back. Where's he? He's managing this year. I don't remember where he's managing.
Whatever happened to the squeeze? How often do you see that anymore in a one-run game or nothing?
Tommy Lasorda was the last one who used it very significantly. Maybe Billy Martin. I don't know. Yeah, no, Lasorda was after that. I love the squeeze. I'll tell you what. You got a guy in third, and you got Alfredo Griffin up in 88. Less than 2 outs. It's a free run. It's a free run.
Where it used to be on the road, you played for the win. At home, you played, to go extra innings. I mean, they even get away from stuff like that. It's
It's funny you say that because you mentioned bunting earlier. I despise the bunt in all but one occasion. Dude's on third, less than 2 outs. It's free freaking run. Like if you got the 8 hitter and then the pitcher's up next, 1 out, squeeze. I mean,
I always like in a nothing game or a tie game late in the game, you got a man on first, nobody out.
I like it when you're up by 2. You're up by 2. Everybody thinks you're up by 3. The odds go from you got a 90% chance, you got like a 98% chance. I mean, it's.
But if it's late in the game, you're going to bunt to get the runner over in scoring position, unless it's your
No, I'm not.
3 or 4. Yeah.
I don't like the bunt at all, but I love the squeeze.
Yeah, I like the sacrifice late in the game if it's needed, unless your middle of your lineup's up, then you let them swing away.
Well, you guys talking about that makes me think of it's the Asian extra innings rule. Put a guy on second, give everybody 1 out. What do you guys think about that? You know what I'm talking about, and do you like it?
Yeah, the Major Leagues did they try it in spring training? I thought that there was talk that they were going to do it later in spring training this year. I don't know if they.
You might be right. I feel like I heard that too.
Spring training might have ended. I think they were going to try it the last week or the last 10 days of spring training this year.
I feel like I saw that too. I don't know. What do you guys? Do you like it? Do you hate it?
I hate it. Play baseball. Play baseball. I mean, why don't you just flip a coin then? You're going to put runners in scoring position. All it takes is a pass ball, and you're going to. I mean, I don't like it. I don't like that at all. The only rules that I like them is to speed up play. Is the crap where you get the batters keep going out of the batter's box, and no more Garcia Parra. He used to be the human rain delight. Yeah, all his stuff.
Remember Mike Hargrove?
Yeah. It's just like get in the box and hit. Once you're in there, you stay there.
But you just named Nomar Garcia Pryor. I mean, any other reason to mention him? I mean, he was a great player for a while, but.
Oh, yeah, he was a great player, but I called him the human rain delay.
He was.
I mean, he'd get in there and he'd get out. I mean, he'd take a 7-pitch at bat and it would be 10 minutes, have to redo everything and get back in, call his pizza order in for after the game, get in the box. Crazy.
My Dodgers have a pitcher like that, Pedro Baez. He's a human highlight or a human rain delay. He's so slow. Drives me crazy. That's funny. Yeah, Girardi's with the Phillies now. That's right. I should have known that. Got my 2 Phillies guys.
He was another one.
He was another one. Then. That's right.
Yeah, he was another one.
You guys went from Kapler to Girardi. You got the same but older. What the heck?
Nah, we got a lot better manager in Girardi. He might go, but he doesn't go totally by the metrics. I mean, he still manages a little bit.
I don't know how well, but I don't know. We'll see.
He did pretty good with the Yankees. I wasn't a fan of Kapler at all.
I like Kapler as a baseball guy. I've always been a fan. I liked him when he played. I liked him when he was a Dodger scout. I've listened to some interviews. I think he's a brilliant mind. I like that he's not going to toe the line. I did not think he managed well. I thought by April, wow, he is screwing that up pretty big. I don't remember the details of it, but I remember thinking,
the first season, 2 years ago. Well, yeah, 2 years ago, they opened up in Atlanta, and it was either the season or the second game of the season. He did some boneheaded thing with the pitching.
I don't remember what it was, but I remember thinking, wow.
He lost the game. In their first 6 games, I think he called games.
Yep. I remember that. I remember thinking this guy's going to be the fastest fire ever. And he's an innovative thinker, and I do like that. But, oh, no. I don't know. We'll see. If you go from Bochy to Kapler, I mean, as a Dodgers fan, I'm not sad that he's their manager because I don't know. It is what it is. I hate the Giants. I hate the Giants more than I hate pretty much everything on the planet. Maybe the Raiders. I'd have to think that through.
Yeah, they just had they've been having a thing on the MLB at Bat app about the rivalry between the Dodgers and the Giants.
Yeah. I'm still mad at Joe Morgan in 82 for, like, I've always hated that guy. First of all, the worst announcer ever. Second of all, a home run in 82 to beat my Dodgers. So I hate that guy.
I like Joe Morgan as an announcer on ESPN.
Oh, horrible. What?
I think it was because the other guy that was with him.
John Miller was great.
Yeah, I like John Miller.
All right, we're going to end the show with favorite and least favorite announcers. Bill Senior, you're talking about. So favorite and least favorite. And yes, you can say Harry Callis, but that would be too obvious.
I used to like Joe Buck. I used to like listening to his game. To Dad when he that 82 series. Was it 82 against your Dodgers?
I can't remember. I can't remember Tom Nienfuhr hitting the home run off Ozzie Smith. I don't know what you're talking about.
That was probably one of the great calls that you ever heard. And also he called his call. I believe it was on the radio in the World Series in '88 when he called Kirk Gibson's home run. That was probably one of the great calls in baseball. And I forget his name. I used to like listening to him too, because when I was to get a lot of the games on AM radio, you would pick in the summertime. You would pick a lot of different places from the country. And I can't remember his name. He was the announcer for the Dodgers. He just not the Dodgers, the Tigers, and he just retired. Maybe about 6-7 years ago, he won the Frick Award and got into.
What did you say?
Hall.
Yeah,
from the Tigers. He was like a. Yeah, I used to love for a little guy. He had a big raspy voice, and I used to like him calling the games. But Harry Callis, without a doubt, is the man.
Bill Jr. I'm sorry.
His call of Mike Schmidt home runs. Michael Jack Schmidt, he always called him. And,
that's right.
Yep.
All right, you're up, Bill. Best and worst.
Obviously, I have to say Harry K, just because Phillies and all the memorable calls just from hearing him on the radio back home. But I'd have to go with Bob Uecker for sure. Take over, Monty. I'm in the bag.
For the worst?
No, best.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, no, not worst. Joe Buck is like my least favorite announcer ever. He's a scab. Is just a voice for Fox. That's it. Like, I can't stand listening to him.
I don't want to give away my answer, but this is me hugging you right now. Yes.
Okay, sounds good. But yeah, Bob Uecker, those broadcasting lessons are really paying off, Monty.
All right. Well, so the best ever, obviously, people. Vin Scully. Come on. It's Vin Scully. And the worst ever.
Here's a question. You're a Dodgers fan. Who did Vin Scully take over for? Was it Red Barber? Is that who he took over?
Look at you. Look at you. Yes, Red Barber.
The only reason I remember that because they got a section in the Hall of Fame and they have tapes playing. And it's like you're in an old game way back in the day, and they show like a radio booth, and you can hear all the different announcers from way back when.
I love that. So I love announcers. I could probably give you my top 30 favorite announcers because I love them. But as much as number 1 versus number 2, it's not even close. It's Vin Scully, and then it's the Grand Canyon, and then it's 2 through 50. That gap is not even as big as the gap between the second worst and the worst ever. The worst ever is Joe Buck. I can't stand him. I wish he would just stop talking out loud and get off my freaking TV. I swear to you, I just mute the dang thing. I don't understand how bad somebody could be and still have a job. Oh, and by the way, he's a freaking lead for football and baseball. What? Like,
it's a scab.
I don't understand it. What am I missing? Someone who likes him. I hate him. I don't hate the man. I hate his announcing.
The one I didn't say who I disliked.
That's a good one.
Pass holder pair, McCarver. I wasn't a fan of him.
I didn't like him, but I didn't dislike him.
Over analyzing so much. I used to scream at the TV during the playoffs and all. Just the damn game that's in front of you. We don't hear what you think, watch the game. He would overanalyze everything.
Do either of you watch Brockmire?
I did in the first season or two. I loved it.
So I work with kids, and I know there's kids in my streams, and I try to stay as family friendly as I can. Don't watch it if you're under 40. But it's
Yeah,
not
it's
the
definitely-
show I've ever liked. Oh my gosh, that dude is.
This is the last season.
Yeah,
So
I'm actually way behind on it, but I'll oh my gosh, the lightning is crazy right now. I'll binge it at some point. It is totally not appropriate, and if you're a kid, don't listen to me right now. Don't listen to it.
it's a great show, though.
He's funny. Growing up, I listened to Phil Rizzuto. I didn't get to ever listen to Phil Rizzuto, but boy, did I become a fan of his. He seems like a funny guy.
I used to listen to him a lot. We don't get the Yankees channel down here now. It was WPIX when I was younger. We used to get it. We always had Yankee games, and it was him and Bill White, who used to play for the Yankees.
Bill White, yeah.
Wasn't he first base for back then for the? I thought he was a first base.
Bill White. Well, now I'm gonna have to look it up.
Yeah, and then he wound up becoming the not the commissioner, but the president of the was it the American League or National League years back. He became the president for a while. But him, the two of them, they used to be awesome on games. And then they also had, I can't think of his name. He wound up dying of brain cancer.
Says you're first baseman. I thought he was a center fielder.
Who for the Yankees? He died of brain cancer a few years back. He was their outfielder before Pinella.
I didn't hear what you said. What are you asking me?
The player that used to play with the Yankees. He also announced with Phil Rizzuto and Bill White.
Paul O'Neill?
No. Into the 70s. He died of brain cancer about 10 years ago.
Oh,
I can't.
Well,
He was a great. The three of them, I used to love listening. I wasn't fans, but I love listening to the three of them announce.
Anybody who talks about cannolis is okay with me, Nick. I knew I liked you. Now, you know what I have in my fridge right now? Cannoli flavored ice cream.
I used to love Joe Garrett when I was a kid.
Garagiola?
In the game.
Yeah,
he was great. I used to like.
Yeah, so my mom lives not far from where
Bobby Mercer, movie need.
Oh, Bobby Mercer, that's right.
Bobby Mercer. He used to do Yankees games with Rizzuto and Bill White.
Right, I wouldn't remember that, but yeah. Anyway, Garagiola and Yogi Berra grew up in the same, or lived in the same neighborhood, the Italian section of St. Louis, and boy, if you want some good Italian food, that's the place to be.
I don't know why I didn't remember. One night years ago, I talked to him. He sat at the table next to us in Baltimore. Every year, me and three of my friends, we used to go on a road trip, and we would go away. One year we went to Minnesota. We went all over the places. Well, one year we went to Baltimore, and we were eating in Little Italy section of Baltimore at an Italian restaurant, and it was Lou Piniella and Bobby Mercer and a couple other guys. They were sitting at the table next to us.
That's cool.
It was a trip just listening.
I bet.
Said a few words. Listening to him was freaking great.
And Mick, it's now official. I love you. Now that you said that, that's perfect. Well, I had fun. We should talk about announcers one night. Another thing about growing up in San Diego, they didn't have good baseball, but boy, did they have good announcing. Jerry Coleman was great. Ted Leitner, but I liked him. But Dave Campbell, who probably one of my all-time favorites, did the national games for a while. He was in San Diego. I actually got to meet him and Jerry Coleman. I'd go to the Padre Caravan things when I was a kid, and they were always there. Like I went to 10 of them. Those two were at all of them. And I met Alan Wiggins was always there, and Gwynn was there a few times. But Dave Campbell and Jerry Coleman were always there, and they were so nice to me when I was a kid. And they were great. They were great announcers.
I got stuck in an elevator at Citizens Bank Park with Jerry Coleman about 10 years ago. We were going up on the field, and I was down on the field before the game taking pictures, and I came up into the stands to get some, field shots, and we went up into the back to take the employee's elevator up to the I had to go down a floor, and he was going down too, and we got stuck about halfway in between our last floor.
That's only cool stuck with. I mean, I bet he had some cool stories. It
was only 3 or 4 minutes we were stuck, but he was a nice guy.
Very nice guy. I never heard anyone say a bad thing about that guy. He was always so outgoing and friendly, and hang a star on that, baby. He's iconic in San Diego. Good stuff. And then he was a manager for a year. That was weird.
Yeah.
But he was a great Yankee. Second baseman with some of the great teams ever.
Yeah.
Anyway,
he played in the era with Tony Kubiak. I think when he used to play with the Yankees.
Yeah.
Guys
in the middle, yeah. I'm sure he's got a couple World Series rings. So anything you guys want to say before we close up? I appreciate everybody staying in chat. We look like we were between 10 and 12, pretty solid tonight. And again, we've got a whole bunch of, and by we, I mean Bill's got a whole bunch of really cool effects and production that are going to be coming soon. So stick around for that. It's going to be fun. But
New Jersey. There could be a garage sale in New Jersey on computer and live streaming hardware.
Don't even. I know how excited you are about it. But you know what? I mean, I would much rather have you on here without the production value than not have you on here. I want to hear what you have to say. We'll get them both.
I was running a couple test live streams yesterday, and this movie Maniac Nick, he came in doing one of the test streams. And like the countdown timer, I got highlights playing in the background. Waiting for it looks freaking awesome. And then tonight I turned the computer on, and one of my main things, the software updates. Well, it must be a bad update in the software, and that screwed things up.
It'll work out. I had a blast talking with you. So you guys want to promote anything or anything you want to say or any last baseball nugget to share with the peeps before we say goodnight?
Yeah, I'm ready for soon. I'm over the quarantine. I'm ready for baseball. Even if it means no fans, as long as we can watch with real players, not from 5 years ago or 25 years ago. They're great games to watch, but 7 or 8 weeks of it, I'm over them.
Amen.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I'm ready for baseball to be back, and I'm also ready for bed.
I'm tired too. I'm really tired. I woke up early today. It's funny you say that. I feel like I've been yawning. So I think that'll be it, people. In chat, thank you guys so much for hanging with us. Again, we'll be here next week. It may look different. It may look the same. It'll be us three or two of the three, but probably all of us three. And I appreciate everybody in chat. Like we've been bouncing around. Stick with us. It's going to be worth it. I swear. This is going to be a good show, and I can't wait for this season to get here. And I'm already having a blast. I tell these guys after, but I'll tell you too while we have to chat it here. I love this hour. I look forward to talking baseball. Shoot, I would talk baseball to the homeless guy on the corner. But it's just fun. I love this. And not having baseball, like when people tell me it's May or when I write down the date in May, I'm like, that's a lie. There's not May because there's no baseball in my life right now. So you guys are helping me have a little bit of baseball. So I appreciate that. Tim, thanks for being here. Pass Old Pair, thanks for being here. Bill Jr.'s everywhere. Bill Sr.'s everywhere. Tim Pruitt, Movie Mania Nick, Pass Holder Pair, Mick, who I love what you said about Mr. Buck. I feel bad because I liked his dad. But
the only thing I wanted to bring up before we go off is on my Magic of the Mouse TV channel. I just put the new, I guess it was Tuesday night. It's pretty much about the upcoming 50th anniversary of Walt Disney's Florida project. And it was kind of my first kind of video of that new video they used from the park. So I kind of put something together, and it came out pretty good. It's about 19 and a half minutes long, and it's some things in there that you might learn that you never knew how Walt Disney World came about.
Love it. So go check that out on Magic of the Mouse TV. Oh, you want to pump the podcast? We haven't talked about your podcast.
There's really nothing to pump right now because with the internet being so screwed up here, we haven't done a podcast since the last one.
Josh, with Josh.
Yeah. Triple P, and so that's the last one we put up. We're hoping to get one out soon. But we use an internet site to record our podcast because Bill's down in Florida. I mean, in Texas. So that's the only way to get him into the podcast with good quality audio.
You check out Anchor. Anchor's.
Yeah, it's the internet. I mean, I need maybe Bill can hook me up with here and give me a sat phone or something like that.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
In between his taking shots for America.
Yeah.
Not the good kind of shots.
Anthrax and they're definitely two vaccines everybody wants to get.
That's crazy. I'm going to pass on that unless somebody makes me. All right, guys. Thank you so much. Have a great weekend. I guess tomorrow's Friday. I got Disney Pins Live tomorrow night and a whole bunch of stuff this weekend. My DizTube is talking about Disney moms, including two of my favorites. Might talk about a third. We'll just see how that goes. I guess that's it. See you guys next Thursday right here on this channel. Go wash your hands. And or go to work. I hope everybody's at work. All right. Thanks, guys, for watching. Have the best day ever. See ya.